Hi, I'm Dr. Tessah Lim and I'm a board-certified dermatologist practicing here in the province of La Union. And the topic I would like to discuss for today is about atopic dermatitis or skin asthma. I hope you watched the video. Don't forget to like my channel, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and feel free to comment down below if you have any questions or you want to say hello to me or anything. Enjoy the video. What is atopic dermatitis? Atopic dermatitis is often called eczema or atopic eczema. This is a condition that usually develops by 5 years of age and causes extremely itchy rashes that come and go. So, pabalik-balik siya na skin condition. So, makating-makati yung balat. And then, is atopic dermatitis contagious? It's not. So, what else? When a child has deeply pigmented skin, AD tends to be diagnosed later in life. Sometimes the condition is missed altogether because it's less noticeable in brown or black skin. You tend to see a gray to violet brown skin discoloration rather than red rashes. So, how many of these following misconceptions have you heard? So, myth number 1, you can get rid of AD by finding and eliminating the one thing causing it. So, when speaking with parents who have a child with eczema, dermatologists often find that parents want help finding that one food or another allergen causing their child's eczema. Before seeing a dermatologist, parents often say that they have already experimented with removing different foods from their child's diet, such as eggs, milk, and fruit. So, what is the truth behind this? So, years of research has proven that not one thing causes AD. So, ibig sabihin, hindi lang isang trigger ang nagkakos ng atopic dermatitis. It's a complex disease that has no cure. Removing foods from a child's diet cannot cure AD, but it can cause health problems. Children need the nutrients in food such as eggs and milk to grow and develop properly. To provide relief from AD, dermatologists create a treatment plan that uses number 1, skincare, number 2, trigger management, and number 3, medication or light therapy as needed. So that means is even if you remove the trigger, for example, the trigger of the patient is this certain food. Pag tinagal mo na siya sa diet ng patient, the parents, they often expect na mawawala na yung atopic dermatitis ng anak nila. So, I see a lot of patients who come to me na, Doktora, wala na halos kinakain ng anak ko. Pero ganyan pa rin yung balat. The problem with this is, hindi naman yung food yung talagang nagkukos ng AD niya eh. Yung habits sa bahay, yung environment, the way they take a bath, how long they take a bath, all of these things play a role on why the eczema or the atopic dermatitis is happening and why it's progressing and why it's not being controlled. So, yun. Next is myth. To reduce flares, cut back on bathing. Because AD causes extremely dry skin, some people believe they can relieve AD by taking fewer baths and showers. Research shows otherwise. So, taking a short, daily lukewarm bath or shower helps. Yun yung totoo. So, bathing removes bacteria and other germs from the skin, which can reduce skin infections. Many people with AD get skin infections. Applying a fragrance-free moisturizer to the skin within a few minutes of bathing help to lock moisture into the skin and reduce dryness. I think the take-home point here is that after the patient takes a bath, number 1, the patient should take a bath with lukewarm water, so hindi masyadong malamig, hindi masyadong mainit. And then right after, they should apply the moisturizer. Right after, hindi siya like later na, mamayang hapon, when you remember, right after they take a bath, because the moisture is stripped off the skin, they have to apply moisturizer to lock in the moisture back. Next, what is the difference between eczema and AD? So, eczema refers to a group of conditions that causes inflamed skin. There are many types of eczema. Atopic dermatitis is the most common type. So, other types of eczema include contact dermatitis, nummular eczema, dyshidrotic eczema. People often say eczema when referring to any one of these conditions. So, while AD is only one type of eczema, it can develop on the skin in many ways. You will see a picture of it. So, there. So, what it means is parang yung main topic of the main category is called eczema, and then under it, maraming subcategories, and one of that is atopic dermatitis. So sometimes, doctor may choose to just call, you have eczema, pero your eczema is atopic dermatitis. Or for other patients, they'll also say, you have eczema, but that type of eczema is nummular eczema. Ganon. So, yun. That's what are the causes of AD or atopic dermatitis. So let's run down through them. So AD is a complex disease. Researchers have discovered that the following likely play a role in causing atopic dermatitis. Number 1, family history of AD, food allergies, asthma, or hay fever. That means is, if meron kang kamag-anak who has atopic dermatitis or skin asthma, meron kayong mga kamag-anak na merong hika, may mga kamag-anak may allergic rhinitis, this patient or yung anak ko ninyo will be at risk to have atopic dermatitis. Number 2 is the immune system. Number 3, where you live. And number 4 is what you're exposed to in everyday life, such as stress, pollution, and tobacco smoke. So, yun yung mga parang triggers ng pagkakaroon ng ganitong sakit. So, here's what findings from these studies show. So, number 1, AD runs in the family. So, researchers have found that you are most likely to develop AD if blood relatives have or had AD. So, ibig sabihin, kunyari, yung nanay merong atopic dermatitis, most likely, may chance magkakaroon ng atopic dermatitis yung anak. Next is food allergies, asthma. Their findings mean that genes are involved in causing AD. In fact, researchers have found that certain genes affect a part of your skin called the epidermal barrier. So this is the outer layer of the skin that protects us from losing too much water and prevents germs from getting in through your skin. So AD causes gaps in the outer layer, which seems to be inherited just like your eye color. So what the skin of a patient with atopic dermatitis is, may mga spaces siya. So for example, the normal skin, the skin cells, they're hindi sila masyadong wide apart. So magkakadikit yung mga skin cells. Pag sa atopic dermatitis na patients, yung skin cells nila may gaps. So, madaling makapasok yung mga allergens, madaling makapasok yung mga irritants in between those gaps. So, that's mainly the reason why they're just prone to have very dry skin, they're prone to have a lot of infection sa skin, konting kagat lang, nagkaroon ng infection kasi madaling makapasok, maraming gaps. And that's also why the moisturizer play a big role in this condition. Next is where you live. Climate cannot cause AD. However, when a child inherits genes for AD, climate can be a tipping point. So, children who have a higher risk of developing AD tend to get it more often where they live in, number 1, high-income country such as United States, the city, place that's cold and damp at least part of the year, and mountainous areas with low temperatures for at least part of the year. The more traits an area has, the greater the risk of developing AD. For example, if a child has a risk of developing AD and moves from Jamaica to London, the child is more likely to develop AD after moving to London. This large city is often cold and damp. So living in a warm and humid area seems to decrease the risk of developing AD. Children who live in a rural area also seem to have a lower risk. So, there. So, what you're exposed to frequently, so like climate, what you're exposed cannot cause AD. However, if your genes increase your risk of developing AD, exposure to substances that irritate your skin or cause an allergic reaction may lead to AD. So, the list of substances is long. It includes yung mga nagtitrigger ng AD, tobacco, o so yung mga naninigarilyo, fragrance found in skincare products. So, if the patient is using a lot of mga fragrance na mga lotion, yung may mga perfume, makaka-trigger siya na atopic dermatitis. Laundry detergent. So, there are certain soaps sa mga damit na mabango. So, it can trigger a reaction sa skin which can lead to having a flare, really severe atopic dermatitis. Pollution. So, yung dust, like tobacco smoke, yung mga sa cars, they can cause a flare. And wool clothing. So, yung mga clothes, I'll notice talaga yung mga certain types of clothes, nakaka-trigger talaga siya. It makes them very itchy. So, there. So, I'll run them down again. The list of substances that can trigger this is smoke. So, it's tobacco smoke, fragrance found in skincare products. So make it a point to check your skincare products. Number 3, laundry detergent. Number 4, pollution. And number 5 is wool clothing. So next is how your immune system works. So AD is also caused in part by your immune system. So researchers have discovered that people with AD, the immune system overreacts. This makes the immune system very sensitive. It may react to everyday things such as pollen and pollution, which leads to flare up. So that means is, for example, so do sa mga nakatira sa ibang bansa na marami silang mga halaman na may mga pollen, or nasa big city sila na maraming pollution, like New York City, ganyan. There is a higher chance that their AD will flare up more because of where they live and the triggers that they are exposed to. So yun. And then, who gets AD? AD is a common condition in children. As many as 25% may have AD, most develop by the 5th birthday. Adults develop AD, but it's less common. Although rare, AD can even start after 60 years of age. So, wala talaga pinipili, pero mas common talaga siya sa mga bata. Many children who have AD see the condition disappear by the time they reach 12 years old. So, AD also can be a lifelong condition. So, yung mga pasyente who had it very young, by 5 years old, hopefully by the time they're 12, before they turn into a teenager, mawala na siya. Yun. Pero still, even with that, it can still be a lifelong condition. Sometimes, pag mas matatanda na, it becomes like a hand eczema na. Next is, race also plays a role in who gets AD. Asians and blacks are more likely to develop AD than whites. In the United States, African American and Asian American children are more likely to get AD than in white children. There. So that's the second part, which is the causes of atopic dermatitis.